Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of the Fourth Element podcast. That's right. Now, I'm recording this on my cell phone because I don't really have the ability to upload this in any other way. And the reasoning why that is because I still don't have a computer, and we're going to be talking about a lot of different things throughout this entire episode. Don't know how long it's going to be, but we're going to talk about Dr. Disrespect's new allegations of those things that are happening towards him. And we're going to talk about stuff that happened with me within the last 2 or 3 months. Now, I've already done an update about this stuff, but we're going to recap all that stuff. And hopefully I'm going to be able to explain all that stuff. And this will kind of be the last time I elaborate on all that, because I've already uploaded a video talking about it, updated it, and I still don't have a computer like I already mentioned, and I still don't have the ability to upload real YouTube videos and edit videos and all that stuff. And this video right here is just going to be a raw cut of whatever the hell it is. It's just going to be, it is what it is. You know, I'm not going to be able to edit anything out of this video. Okay, so I'm going to try to run through all this kind of quickly, so I'm going to not try to spend too much time talking about it. So let's go back on February once again. So this is when I had my computer, and we'll go through it again. So what happened was, well, obviously, for those of you that don't know, I take care of a bunch of cats. I have at least 20 of them, maybe even 25 of them at this point. But I've pretty much hit my limit on that. We actually found the ability to get rid of kittens whenever they get winged from their mothers and stuff like that. So that way we're not accumulating, cat after cats after cats. And the reasoning why that's happening is because I'm a really poor person. My dad, we live here. We live off Social Security. I have a fucking full-time job, which we're also going to talk about that too. But it's actually making things a lot better with me being able to have these paychecks coming in every week or every 2 weeks. Nonetheless, all right. Trying to make it all poetic and shit. What the fuck am I doing? All right, so one of my cats back in February got real sick with an upper respiratory problem. Basically like a really bad cold, but it was infected. It was bad. It was going to kill him if we didn't get him to the vet. So I had to scrounge up what little money that we had so I could take him to the vets and get him fixed. So we took him to the vet. They got him some antibiotics that I have to squirt in his mouth, and that was going to cure him, and it did. But over the past week or so, or he had it for 2 weeks straight. And throughout that time, with him being messed up with me not having a job and not having that much money, because remember I told you guys I quit working at Walmart. And while I had my computer, I put applications everywhere. I put some I put another application in a Walmart to see if they'd hire me back, which they didn't. I put another application in Dillon's and Harbor Freight, at Lowe's, Menards, because that's where we got, it's like a Home Depot type store. I also put applications at Home Depot, I think. Or I don't think I did that one. Anyway. Eventually, one of those places ended up calling. It was Lowe's. They ended up calling them. I'm going to go into that later on. But going back to the cat situation, so about a week goes by and he's still not eating or drinking, and he still has that upper respiratory problem, and he's still breathing out of his mouth and shit. And throughout all this, he ended up having a fever too on top of that. And so what they do to help reduce the fever is they do what they call sub-Q fluids. What in the hell was that? What they call sub-Q fluids, which is basically they pinch their fur on the back and they put fluids inside their fur, or not inside the fur, but underneath their skin. What that does, it kind of creates a little bubble of that fluid underneath their back, and that helps them lubricate their organs and stuff like that, and basically give them water without actually having them drink water. Um, and that reduced his fever really good, and that made him feel better. And I had to do that twice because he wasn't eating or drinking after the first time, and I was really scared. So what had happened was one morning I was really scared. He was still messed up. I still kept feeding him antibiotics though. And then or I was really scared because he was, I think I said that. Anyway, because he wasn't getting better. So in one morning I turned my computer on, and sometimes this happened ever since I got this fucking computer. Sometimes when you turn it on, it'll have this strange pixelate go over this pixelating thing go over my monitor, and every time that shit happens, the whole damn thing freezes. I can't move my mouse. I can't do Control Alt Delete. I can't do nothing. The whole thing freezes. So I hard reset the damn thing, hold the button until it turns off. And of course, with me being frustrated and pissed off about my cat, not knowing if he's going to be alive or not after I spent all that money at the vet, I turned it on really quick after I turned it off. Well, what that did is that pretty much destroyed something inside there. The motherboard was messed up, and the hard drive was pretty much shot. So I couldn't use it no more. It was basically broken. It wouldn't load the fucking Windows update, or not update, but it wouldn't load the Windows program. Alright, so my computer died. And by the way, I ended up taking him back to the vet and getting him some more sub-Q fluids so he could have some fluids in him because he wasn't eating and drinking like I mentioned. And long story short, on the cat, he ended up making it. He's alive. He's still here. And he's doing actually a lot better now than he ever was before. You know, that upper respiratory stuff is completely gone. Those antibiotics really fucking kicked ass. And got the job done. But anyway, so he's fine. The cat's fine. But my computer is down. My computer's dead. So now I can't get no fucking. Well, I can get emails on my phone. So I guess that was one good thing about me having my phone. So I got emails on my phone, and they can call me on my phone. And I ended up getting a bunch of emails saying, "Hey, you know, we have an opportunity for you to have a job here at Lowe's." I was like, "All right, good." So I went to Lowe's, did the interview and all that stuff, and then they found out that they pay every 2 weeks. They pay only $14 an hour minimum wage. At least that's what I was getting paid for doing the hardest fucking job there, which was bullshit. And what I was doing there was I was basically a loader. That was my job title. I was a loader. And what that means is anybody that has heavy stuff that needs to be loading out into their vehicle, whether it's old people not being able to lift up bags of mulch, or people buying massive fucking windows that weigh 500 fucking pounds. It was my job to help them load that up into their house, into their trailer or their truck or their vehicle or whatever they had. So that's what I did, and I also gathered carts too. That was also a part of my job. I was supposed to gather carts, and I gathered more carts than I ever loaded anybody's stuff up. And at the time, this was when they was having their spring sale on, and they had a bunch of mulch that they were selling on half off or whatever. So they had a loading zone, and that shit was horrible because there was lines backed up. Oh my god, it was a horrible experience, but we went through it. I got a lot of good stuff done. I didn't ever get my computer yet. I still don't have a computer. And also throughout all that stuff happening, my Xbox 360 ended up dying. But what had happened was the 360 itself was fine, but it was just the power brick itself was faulty. It was messed up. Didn't know that. Went to the game store, bought a new power brick, and there we go. It was good to go. And I bought a brand new original Xbox, a more updated, better version. Because the one that I had, my original Xbox, was the one that had the time capacitor in it, and it was an older version, like one of the first ones that come out, and it sucked because it was terrible. It just was broken, basically. So I went and bought a brand new original Xbox. The only reason why I got a brand new original Xbox is so that later on, when I get all this equipment and stuff, I want to be able to play Halo 2 online once again, after all these years through the Insignia server. But that's another video for another time. So moving on. let's see what the next thing. So I don't have a computer. My Xbox 360 broke, but I fixed it so I can still play that. And then I end up getting a job at Lowe's, like I already mentioned. And so now I'm gathering carts at Lowe's every single day and moving on to basically now what had happened recently within the weekend, last weekend. Um, so it's spring or it's summertime, and now every single day it's like 90 degrees, 100 degrees, and it's super fucking hot. And that parking lot has no trees in it, so the sun is just blasting my ass the entire time. Of course, they were really cool, like if I needed to go inside and get water or something, they had bunches of a big ass fridge full of water that you could get at any time. It was free, you didn't have to pay for none of that shit. And then anytime I felt like I was about to pass out or anything out there in the heat, I could go inside and relax for a few minutes and just, take the edge off for a minute or two. Because, being out there in the heat, they gotta, it's pretty bad, especially for 8 hours a day, 4 hours, and then I get an hour lunch and then come back and do another 4 hours. But anyway, I'm not complaining about that shit because I'm about to do that later on at another place. So yesterday, on Sunday, I actually walked in there and I quit. So when I was working at Walmart, one of my supervisors that was working there was really cool, and I ended up like really getting good friends with her, and I friended her on Facebook and shit like that. And every now and again, she would send me messages and shit like, "Hey, how you doing? What's up? How you doing?" and all this shit. Of course, she's married and been married for 20 something years, and has got like 7 kids. So it's like, it's not really like a relationship type friendship. It's more like just a friendship. Like, you're a cool guy, and you're a cool chick, like I say, and all this shit. That's basically what it is. In other words, she kept sending me messages, and one day out of the blue, last week or so, she sent me a message saying, "Hey, I have a job opportunity for you. You can come work here at Hobby Lobby with me if you want to. It's full time if you want, or you can get a part time if you like. They have both opportunities for you. Part time starts out at $13 an hour. Full time starts out at $18.75 an hour." And I was like, "Holy shit! I'm only getting paid $14.04 here at fucking Lowe's, and I'm busting my fucking ass doing carts and help loading people's shit. I'm getting sick and tired of that, especially out there in this fucking heat." So I took her up on that opportunity, and I was like, "Hell yeah." So I'm going to go there on my lunch break today, and I'm going to go over there and talk to your manager and stuff and see if we can't work something out. So that's exactly what I did. I walked over there and said, "Hey, Candace was talking about," Candace is my friend's name. She said that, you guys might have a job opportunity. And they said, "Yeah, we do actually," because I had a couple of people that I was trying to get here to work, but every time I called them, they wouldn't answer the phone. And every time I'd set up an appointment with someone that did answer the phone, they never showed up. I was like, okay, whatever. So I went in there and we talked some things, and I'm going to do an interview with them tomorrow, Wednesday at 10:30. And I went. They have paper applications. Of all places, they have paper applications, which is crazy. Most people have online applications nowadays. Anyway, so I took the application home, filled it out, took it back yesterday on Monday because they're not open. Or actually, this was on Saturday when I went in there because they're not open on Sundays. That's right. I forgot about that. It was on Saturday when I went in there and talked to him. Because they said they're not open on Sundays, and they sometimes, the manager wanted to know if I worked on weekends and shit. I'm available anytime, weekends, weekdays, don't matter. So I'm already working weekends at Lowe's, and the way that they had me working the weekends was horrible because they had me going there early. Like, I had to be there at like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning. It's like, what the fuck? Y'all got me coming here at 8 o'clock in the morning on a fucking weekend on Sunday to do carts? Because that's what I did most of the time. I barely ever loaded people's stuff up in their vehicles. I basically did carts most of the time. And for me to have to get up at fucking 8 o'clock in the morning or be there at 8 or even 9 on Sunday was fucking stupid. Anyway, moving on. Filled the application out for Hobby Lobby. And I even messaged my friend and I said, man, seems like $18.75 an hour seems a little much for starting people out. And she goes, well, that's what I started out doing, and I get paid even more because I've been here for a couple of years. Then got a few raises and shit. I was like, damn, hell yeah. So basically with that said, so while I was working at Lowe's, though, let's back up a little bit because I forgot to mention a few details I'd like to mention to y'all. While I was working at Lowe's, I realized that I had enough money every single time, and then they paid every 2 weeks, which is terrible, but I don't care. I'm willing to put up with that. If Hobby Lobby pays every 2 weeks, so what? It is what it is. And I kind of would like to have that happen anyway, because... Anyway, forget about that. So while I was working at Lowe's, I wanted to buy a couple, like, luxury things for myself, because I bust my ass every day doing them damn carts. And at Lowe's, they had a little mini bike that was like $799. It was like $800, and I usually get paid about 900 something every 2 weeks, so that's more than enough for me to buy that mini bike. And I was going to buy that goddamn mini bike. Then some fucking crackheads pulled up and was looking at it, and these stupid motherfuckers at Lowe's are so dumb. They have this cable that's weaved in between all the stuff outside they're selling, like expensive things like lawnmowers and shit like that. And for some reason, they had this thing just barely like looped over that fucking thing. They just had it looped over there, never really had it like fully locked into with that wire. So these crackheads come up there and notice that, pulled that fucking loop out of there, and just jimmied that fucking bike out of there, loaded that motherfucker up in the back of their truck, and took the fuck off. So they basically stole the damn thing. And I was so pissed off about that. They basically stole it from me. I mean, they technically stole it from Lowe's because I never paid for it yet. But I was going to buy that motherfucker, and they fucking stole it. So they basically stole it from me. They stole the opportunity of me being able to buy the damn thing. Although I'm kind of glad that happened, because the mini bike I was going to get was cool, but it wasn't all that great, because I went to another place called Tractor Supply, and they have tractor supplies here where I live, and every now and then they get mini bikes in as well. So I went over there, and they had one. They had a mini bike, and it was on sale for $650. The original price was the same price as the one at Lowe's, $799. It was $800 original, but they wanted to get rid of it. So I was like, fuck yeah. So I went over there, bought that damn thing, and now I have a fucking mini bike I can ride around. Now, I don't have a picture of the ability to show you, but later on when I get my computer, or even later on before I even get my computer, I might do a little video on my phone showing you guys the mini bike and kind of riding it around and stuff like that. But I don't really like to do these like basically plain Jane basic videos that everybody and even their mom can do, because I like having a computer. I like editing my videos, editing music in there, and doing certain cuts and making certain things and adding certain things in there. And just, there's a lot of editing that I like to do with my videos, with my projects that I like to work on, you know? And so that's why I haven't really been out here doing YouTube shorts or really uploading videos and doing things like what I'm doing now, because I like to edit my videos. I like to make them really good. Without me having a computer, I can't really fucking do that. So I've been kind of not doing the YouTube thing really recently. That's why I've been gone for so long. That's why you haven't been seeing any uploads from me. But we're going to be coming back, because with this new job I'm going to be getting, if they pay every 2 weeks, that means I'm going to get way more than 900 every single 2 weeks. If they pay every 2 weeks, I don't really know about the stuff yet. I'm going to figure it all out tomorrow when I go for the interview. Most places pay every 2 weeks. Majority of places pay every 2 weeks. So I'm thinking they'll probably pay every 2 weeks. But if not, it's okay, because I have the ability to save the money. I mean, it's not like I'm going to be spending. Like, I have a goal, and usually whenever I set a goal for myself, especially with the things that I want to do with my computer, like, I got to get this fucking computer. And the type of computer that I'm going to get is a really badass computer. I don't even know the name of it, because I just went into Best Buy and just kind of glanced at what they had. I did take a picture of it, but I can't show you because it's on my phone. I don't have the ability to edit videos. But nonetheless, I'm going to get a computer. It's going to cost me about $1,200, maybe 1,300. I don't really know. And then later on, I'm going to get a 4K computer. I want to get a computer that has the ability to play really badass games like Warzone and Call of Duty Black Ops 6. I think I want to try that out too when it comes out. And some other cool games. I want to play them in 4K, 1080p, or if I want the ability to play them in 1080p, if I wanted to downscale it. But I want to play it in 4K is what I really want to do. Play it in 4K with really good frames, 240 frames per second. I can deal with that. And then once I spend the money on that and I get some extra money saved up, I do want to buy another Xbox. I do want to buy an Xbox Series X, just so I have an Xbox console, so that way I can just play GTA 6 whenever that gets released. Because I know whenever that gets released, it's probably not going to come out for PC for probably quite some time. And I don't just want to have a PC just to play games on. Like, I want to have that so I can play good PC games, but I also want to have consoles so I can play the good console games when they come out too. Also, I'm going to get a PlayStation 5 as well. I want to get it all. I want to get an Xbox Series X, and I want to get a fucking PlayStation 5, get a 4K TV or monitor. I mean, whichever one I'm going to use, whatever, it don't matter. But I'm going to have a dedicated monitor for my computer, so I'll see what happens when that time comes. Like I said, with this new job I'm going to be getting, I'll probably be getting paid well over $1,200 every month. Or not every month, but every 2 weeks. So it's going to be great. I'll have more than enough money to get my computer and more than enough money to get my monitor, maybe a new TV. Oh, it's going to be great. So, now that all you guys have been caught up with what I've been doing the last 3 or 4 months and caught up with what's going on with me recently, let's go ahead and get into the whole Dr. Disrespect allegations and all that stuff. And if you're satisfied with what you've heard so far, if you've even made it this far in the video, I really appreciate you actually. And if you're new, help me out by hitting that subscribe button, because I want to get to that glorious 1,000 subscribers and get to that 4,000 watch time hours so I can get monetization set up for my YouTube, so that way I can actually feel like I'm doing something that's actually worthy. I don't even know where I was going with that. But anyway, hit that subscribe button. So, Dr. Disrespect, over the weekend, some people came out with some allegations, or at least one guy. I don't even know exactly who the hell this guy is. And I don't know. This goddamn bug flying around on my phone. Anyway, there's a former Twitch employee that I best got laid off, got fired or some shit. I don't know what the hell the situation is with that. But he released some tweets talking about how Dr. Disrespect was sexting a minor. Talking about a minor. I don't know. I don't really know what that really means, sexting a minor. I guess talking sexual content with a minor through texting. I guess that's what that means. Anyway, through the Twitch Whisper program. Now, I didn't even really know Twitch had a fucking messaging system like this until like a few years ago. And I'd recently, honestly, it's so irrelevant to me that I just fucking forgot that was even a thing until somebody even mentions it. I always forget that Twitch Whispers is even a thing until someone brings it up and says something about it. But anyway, so this guy's claiming that the reason why Dr. Disrespect got banned off of Twitch is because he was using the Twitch Whisper system to sexting a minor. And that's huge allegations, and there's really been no proof about it yet. If there is any proof about it yet, as you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but I have Dr. Disrespect's Violence, Speed, Momentum book. And I haven't actually read it, me personally, I don't read books. I don't like to read. I just don't. I've never really liked to read ever since I was a younger child. But I like the concept of books. I like to have, the fact that there's a lot of information in there about certain things, in general with books. I like them. I'm not saying I hate books. I like them. But I'd rather read them in an audio log. I'd rather have somebody else read them to me, because honestly, I really like audio logs, like audio books and shit like that, because that's a really cool perspective to actually have the author of the book read it back to you and have their, it's really cool. Anyway, but I haven't quite listened to the entire 6 hours that the entire book is. I don't know. I'm not really that interested in the book itself. I like it, I like the concept of it, but listening to like 2 or 3 hours of that, it gets kind of boring, and it's like I don't really know exactly what the fuck he's talking about. I'm getting way off topic here, but going back to the allegations of Dr. Disrespect with no evidence, what my take is on it is just like everybody else's take. I'm going to wait and see if there really is real evidence of this and not some fake bullshit. I'm actually basically going to wait until other YouTubers that are more into the situation, that have the ability to do more research and stuff like that. Like I said, I don't have a computer, so I can't really look things up for myself and do research on it, but also I really don't care that much about it. I care enough to where I'll let other people figure this stuff out first and then do YouTube videos, and then I'll watch those videos and then I'll figure it out myself, or I'll judge myself whether or not these things are true or if they're fake or what's going on here. But yesterday, Dr. Disrespect, towards the end of his stream, talked about literally going on vacation, and he doesn't even know when he's going to be back and if he's even going to come back. He said he's getting really kind of tired of being on social media, especially with all these allegations coming out with him. I mean, it seems like there's a lot of people with him being who he is, like with the alpha male and being like, fucking hardcore, like badass, basically hardcore motherfucker badass. There's a lot of people out there that hate that kind of attitude, and they don't like him, and they'll do whatever they can to try to drag his name through the mud and try to get people to not, be his fan anymore, and try to change their perspective of who he is. And the many years that I've been watching him, like I said, I'm a fan of his. I bought his book. I even bought the Game Fuel box one time, and even got the exclusive, I forget what that song is called. But anyway, the exclusive cassette tape with that one song on it. That's really badass. I got that too. And that's kind of a rare item too, because only a certain amount of people got those. And there was only a limited amount of them. And once they were gone, they were gone. And now, since that's been like a couple of years ago, 2021 now, I think that's when it was. Those tapes are all gone. And those are the only ones, and I got one. So I'm really proud and really, really great that I even got that. And I know it seems kind of stupid to be proud, but there's only a limited amount of those, and I got one. And that's I'm kind of proud about that. Anyway, again, getting off topic. I do that a lot. That's one of the things you're going to have to deal with me, because I like to ramble. So what had happened is, also another thing I didn't mention to you guys is the Midnight Society, his own gaming studio that he founded, that he created, that he built. Since after this whole situation came out, his gaming society, and again, let me just go ahead and tell you that what I'm telling you, and the reason why I left this towards the end of the video, all this information is already out on YouTube. Everybody already knows. So me explaining it back to you is basically like me watching another video, knowing the information, then making a YouTube video, uploading. That's the reason why this is towards the end of the videos. This is why, this is all shit that people already fucking know. But I just kind of want to elaborate on it and let you guys know my feelings on it. That's why I'm talking about it. All right. So his gaming studio basically dropped him from his studio, basically firing him. He's not affiliated with the Midnight Society anymore. And I think he realized this or read this on stream yesterday while he was streaming, or got a message about it. And then he came up with this thing talking about how he wants to take a vacation and he wants to be he don't know when he's going to come back, and he said he was going to start today, which was yesterday. And it's honestly really fucking sad, because to think that if these allegations are fake and that this is not real, and if he seriously rides off into the sunset like he was talking about with his Lamborghini, and just never comes back to social media, and never does another tweet, never does another live stream, never does another video, how fucking depressing is that? Kind of like, I don't know. All of this is so very, very fucking strange, because with somebody that is as strong minded as the doc, and to have some little fucking whoever this guy is that got fired from Twitch to have these type of allegations towards him, and for Midnight Society without no hardcore evidence to just drop him. Like, if these things end up coming out to the light, end up being true, and he was really sexting a minor, and he was trying to fucking, like, I don't know really what sexting really means, because I mean, like, you're talking about, I don't know. I don't know, like, it's very, very strange, and I keep hitting my table and bumping the camera, so it's shaking. I don't really know what to think about it. Like I said, I'm going to hold my judgment until it comes out. But to put it in perspective, if these allegations come out to be true, I don't know where to stand on it. I can tell you right now that if this shit ends up being true, I got no choice but to disown my fucking my feelings for him. Like, if these things are real, seriously, like for real, I just, I can't be a fan of his no more. Like, I gotta take the book down. I gotta take the tape down. I gotta put it in a drawer. It's gotta stay. Like, I don't want to fucking destroy the book, because at my core, I still have a lot of respect for Dr. Disrespect. But like I said, if these allegations are true, and he seemed to pull away from his streams, he seemed to pull away really, really fast with all these things happening, and it's like, wow, like, there's no hardcore evidence of this yet. Midnight Society says that they were talking with some people, but didn't actually come out with any real evidence either, but they're dropping Dr. Disrespect Guy Beam from their situation. Then once he found out about that, on Monday, yesterday, he kind of like was basically like, yeah, I'm about to leave and never come back. It's basically what he was saying. And I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's happening with him. And it's a real big situation. This is actually like probably another video, or probably something that I probably should have did another video on, instead of just doing all this towards the end of this. But this is gonna be like kind of a podcast type video. I'm gonna name this like Fourth Element Podcast, I think, because I had plans to do that before, but I never really like executed on it, because I never really knew what to talk about. I wanted to have a big story to talk about, and have the video be really long, and be entertaining. But with everything happening within the last few months, I had a story, so now I can actually start the series, start the Fourth Element Podcast. And with me working every single day, things are going to be a lot better. I'll have a lot more stuff to talk about. These episodes are probably not going to be as long as this one. I actually don't know how long this is going to be, but I've been talking for a minute. And yeah, but it's to go back to the doc situation. It feels really wrong, like, to even have those type of allegations come out towards him, because like I said, the type of respect that I have with him, like, you got to understand, like, there's a lot of people that he's helped just with his live streams, just with him being him, just with him doing the things that he does, just being a character, and he's helped a lot of people out through like suicide and drug use and alcoholism and all of these things. This is like he's helped a lot of people with the way he is, with his character and things. And I'm really no exception because I used to take prescription pills. I used to take anxiety pills, Xanaxes and Klonopins and shit like that. Now, I've never really been an alcoholic, and I never really drunk alcohol like on top of the pills, so I never really was like that. But nonetheless, it was still a problem for me. And then towards 2019, 2020, in 2019, one of my best friends passed away with a car crash, and that really affected my life pretty bad. And towards the end of 2020, my dad ended up talking to his doctor and getting those prescription pills taken away from him, or he just stopped taking them altogether. And that's how I was getting them, because my dad had a prescription to them, and I was able to get them too. And it was terrible. So, with me going through the withdrawal of not having those pills no more, and let me tell you, those withdrawals don't just happen for a couple of weeks and you're better. That shit happened for years. Like, I was going through withdrawal off of those pills for bare minimum 2 to 3 years at the most. And even recently, like last year, I think was the last year that I took Klonopins, and I like last year was the last year that I will ever touch those fucking pills ever again, because the things that I did while I was on those pills was unfucking acceptable. Like, it was nothing like super bad or nothing like the allegations that we're talking about with Dr. Disrespect, but it was really stupid shit, like getting in my fucking truck and doing dumb shit in it, and like without me not having the money to get the truck fixed. That type of stuff, Anyway, so this is why I latched onto Dr. Disrespect, because he helped me through the withdrawals. He helped me through that low time in my life, along with a lot of other people too. So with these allegations coming out towards him, it just hurts. It kind of hurts me to know that if these things are true, like, I don't know how to handle that, because I'm not a fucking pedo and I'm not no fucking creep, and I want to deal, and I definitely don't want to support anybody that is that. And with him cheating on his wife, having a video 6 to 7 some years ago that he came out with talking about being unfaithful to his wife, it's very, very, suspicious about him leaving so soon, Midnight Society, with no really hardcore evidence, dropping him from the thing, from the video gaming. It's all very, very, very strange, and we might not ever get any real evidence of this. And if we do get real evidence of it, and if it is true, it's going to be a few years on down the line. But it just does suck that if he does never come back to doing live streams, I kind of have a feeling that he is going to come back. He's just going to take a small little break. It might be a month or 2 months, or maybe even a year, or maybe even a half a year. I don't know how long or what this is going to happen, really. But all of this situation with him, allegations of the sexting, all that shit, has got to be put under the rug and forgotten and shit like that. Like, this stuff has got to be taken away in order for him to come back, and I don't know if it's ever going to, because these are serious allegations towards him. And like I said, if these things end up coming to light and they are true, he'll never fucking do another live stream again. He'll probably never do another YouTube video again. He's probably got more than enough money to last him for the rest of his fucking life. And like, literally, he don't need to come back if he don't want to come back. Especially with these people like dragging his name through the mud and shit. There's a lot of people that love him, and there's a lot of people that hate him. And unfortunately, I don't want to say unfortunately, because it's not only unfortunate, but I am one of the people that I like his character. He's a cool guy, I believe. But with the fact that he hides a lot of his personal life behind the mustache, or not, the wig and the glasses and that character and all that stuff, it's hard to tell really how Guy Beam, Dr. Disrespect, how he really is behind the wig and behind the glasses and all this shit. Nobody really knows the type of person he really is. He keeps a lot of that shit tightly secretive. So anyway, I've been rambling on long enough. I've kind of talked way too much about this. So I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. We talked a lot of good stuff about me, about my cats, about my computer. We talked about Dr. Disrespect and my thoughts on it. And yeah, I'm basically going to end this video and probably go play some Terraria for a little bit. And yeah, I wish I could do a live stream, but I can't. I don't have a computer. So I will see y'all in the next video I do. The next video I do will probably be something based around my mini bike. Because I do want to do a video on that. So look forward to that coming up here within the next week or so. Tomorrow, I got to go in for my job interview, and I'm probably going to be dealing with that for the next week or so, figuring out when I'm going to go into work, all these good things. Anyway, see y'all later. I appreciate y'all sticking by. Hit that subscribe button if you like my content. Like the video if you like the video, and I'll see you.